But as a policymaker at the national level, you want to know what you can do better than your neighbor. And just like New Zealand has done so well at attracting the rich people around the world that want to move to New Zealand to live in New Zealand, I think that should be the kind of tool that you need to give to all countries and say to them, use this. You're going to create better jobs. People will live longer. You're going to eliminate crime or reduce crime. And guess what? You're going to get a lot of investment coming from overseas because the rich people will want to come and stay where you are. Why? Because you pollute less. Why? Because you live longer. Why? Because you have better well-being outcomes that you don't get anywhere else, because maybe you're sunnier, you take care of your ecosystems. That has an impact on families that want their kids to live in a different natural ecosystem. They don't want to live in downtown New York or Washington anymore. So that is something that as a national policymaker I would want to have, because I want to compete. I want to be better than the others. And I can't do that just on a moral high ground. As important as that is, okay, so do not take me as the cynicist here, but it is important, the moral high ground and all the moral values. But as a policymaker, you want to sell something to your nation that makes them proud of being what they are. And I think that is how you make an indicator powerful. And once it gets catchy, it will become, it gets picked up by New Zealand, gets picked up by, you name it, Iceland, and so on and so forth. And I hope the countries of WEAll, including Wales, will do that. Then, WEAll is Wellbeing Economy Governments. And I think, they put together this very beautiful group of countries that I hope will become a reference point for the rest of the world. Anyway, you get competitive and the others will want to be like you. So that is the edge I'd like to see coming out of this conversation.
Right. Thank you.
Moving on, the point that he was just making there about, we've looked at an old, the old model is, how do we attract inward investment to grow our economy by chucking a load of cash at companies and telling them that we've got the cheapest workforce, cheapest labor anywhere. Well, actually, the world is moving on, and what employers and those sorts of people who want to base their companies in different countries, they're looking for quality of life. They're looking for countries that have high quality, future focused skills, and all of that plays into having decent jobs, a well-educated population, thinking to the future in terms of what sort of skills we're going to focus on supplying and so on. And so I think that we really need to sort of get with the program in the way that the world has moved on there. And also where the futures element, I think, is quite interesting in that is that, our future generations and our younger generations do want entirely different things. They don't even want a work-life balance. They want a life-work balance. And if we're going to attract those sort of quality young people to come and work in different sectors, then we kind of need to recognise that. So that all plays into the wellbeing and happiness agenda as well.